All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the webinar and thanks for joining. My name is Michael and I'm a systems engineer here at Colorfront. And today I'll be walking you all through the Colorfront Streamer. We'll be covering all the core features, how to use the stream manager, how to use the streaming player, how to get started with the trial, and how to subscribe. So today the session's just designed to give a clear overview of how everything works, whether you're just getting started or if you want to dive a little bit deeper. At the end, I'll open the floor to questions, so please hold any questions until then. So let's jump in. All right, so Colorfront Streamer. What is Colorfront Streamer? Basically, it's a professional, low latency video streaming solution designed for real-time remote collaboration in the high-end post-production workflows. So in simpler terms, it allows creatives like colorists, editors, VFX artists to live stream video output from their grading or editing systems, such as Resolve, Flame, Avid, Premiere, etc., to collaborate basically anywhere in the world, all with high fidelity, accurate color, and sub-second latency. The Colorfront Streamer, it provides quality that never falls apart, and we have a streaming player that works in tandem with the streamer that allows viewers to map to basically any display that they're using. So if you're using HDR display, or if you're streaming to a cinema projector that needs XYZ, you can do these color conversions within the player, which is really unique. It all uses the proprietary Colorfront engine for this mapping, which is trusted throughout the industry in our transcoder and onset daily software. Okay, so here, what makes Streamer stand out? Here's a quick overview of what Colorfront Streamer offers. It's designed to give post teams a high quality real-time remote viewing experience that's just simple to use but powerful under the hood. What stands out to most users is the image fidelity. It's built for critical viewing, so whether you're reviewing color grades, VFX shots, or final conform, the stream will deliver exceptional clarity and precision. We support 444 12-bit video, which means no compromise in color detail. And for teams working in HDR or doing client-facing review, it gives confidence that what's being seen remotely truly reflects the creative intent. Also, in terms of device compatibility, so say if your director is traveling, they can tune in via an Apple TV or iPad and still get an accurate, consistent image quality thanks to our color managed pipeline using the Colorfront engine. I won't go through each line here, but if you have questions about specific capabilities, like how we handle HDR conversions and browser-based access, we can get into that deeper later. All right, so now on to a live demo. I'll give you I'll show you how it works just on the fly. We have it here. I have it set up with Adobe Premiere Pro, and this is the GUI interface here. It's real simple, easy to use. It's a single channel streaming. You have your start and stop streams down here. You have your info about the stream. You have a little preview of what's being streamed with some audio here. Just real easy. You can start the stream. And so just to say this again, the streamer is comprised of three parts. There's the streamer application, which you see here. Then we have a stream manager, where you can send email invites, manage users, you can add members to your team, all that good stuff. We'll get into that a little bit later. And then you have the streaming player, and that's where you would view the stream. Also, just wanted to add that the streamer supports SDI, NDI, and CDI. With Premiere, I have it set up with SDI using an AJA box, but we also support a wide variety of Blackmagic design devices, and NDI and CDI. So I just wanted to make sure that was out there too. And so now that we have the stream started, this area will turn white, as you can see here. It gives you details about the stream type. We're doing a HD 2398 420 5 megabit 709 stream. It'll show us once people are connected right here as well. I also do want to mention on the streamer is there's a settings. If you press tab, And in the settings, you could change the resolution, input and output color space. So this is where you can do any sort of transforms for projector or HDR display. Or if you're stuck with an SDR display, you can set your input and output color spaces here. You can adjust your bit rate. You could change your audio encoder to AAC or PCM. You can switch between 420 and 444. At the moment, 444 is only supported with Windows. And you could also enable the secondary stream, which is how viewers can join and view via web browser. All right. So back to the stream manager. Basically this is where you'll view streams, invite viewers, adjust configurations, and more. As you can see here, we have this green light lit up, which means I'm streaming. And if I hover over this first green arrow, it says our streamer has started. As soon as the viewer joins, the second green arrow will light up. And then I can invite my viewers here. I can add a session title if I'd like. And then I could also add a single use only, so they could only open the invite once, or add authentication if need be. So I can send the invitation, and I'm just going to join on my phone. And as soon as I join, you'll see that this other green arrow will light up. We'll see that the viewer, the invitation has been sent to my email address. And as soon as I join, these other location and machine types and connected time will populate. And then we see this other green arrows turn green. So we have our connected viewer. If I hover over this, it says, connected, stream quality is good. I could view device info for my viewers. So if I need to do any troubleshooting, check out any latency, or just see what kind of device they're viewing with, I could do that here. I could also start and stop the stream here. I can adjust different parameters in the settings like I did directly on the streamer. I could do it directly through here as well. So if I needed to change the bit rate or adjust the input or output color space, I could do that all on the stream manager. I could also view details of the source and destination and, do any troubleshooting if need be. I have all those resources here available. And I could also remove viewers. If I accidentally invited the wrong person, I could remove that viewer here. Or I could add a viewer with code. So if like somebody's joining on Apple TV, they could press the play button, it displays a little 6-digit code, and I could add that code here and have them join. Lots of different ways to join the stream. It's all very secure. It's all the TPM certified. That's just a brief intro to the stream manager. If you have any questions later, we can get into anything else. Now I kind of want to focus more on the streaming player. So this is the third part of our streaming infrastructure. This is how our viewers view the stream from the streamer, and it's supported on all sorts of different devices like Windows, Apple TV, iPhone, iPad, Mac, also web browser. So viewers can, they don't necessarily need to download the streaming player application, but if you do want the best quality stream, the image fidelity, you will want the streaming player app. But if you have clients that for some reason aren't able to install software on their device, the web browser function is a really easy solution for those viewers to join a stream with no hassle. Another great feature of the streaming player is that if you wanted to, you could use a video I/O device, Blackmagic or AJA, to do video out to X310 or a projector if need be, or LED wall, all the above. and you have all the input and output color space options available in the player as well. You also have some latency settings on the player. Just at the base standard, it's sub-second, but if for those needing better latency requirements, we have an ultra-low latency and a soon-to-be released hyper-low latency that with our testing here, we've been getting 1 or 2 frames of latency, so it's quite good as long as your network can handle it. And as I mentioned earlier, the Colorfront engine is used within the streamer and streaming player to do all our color remapping. And if you're familiar with Colorfront, you know you're familiar with this Colorfront engine, and it's a very powerful tool for that color remapping. So yeah, Streamer in Action, we have a lot of different studios that are using it and are very happy with the software. They use it for color reviews, remote QC, and a lot of people really like it for the color remapping tools using the Colorfront engine. It's very convenient. People trust the color, the image fidelity is top notch, and the color accuracy is trusted within the industry. If you want to get started with the trial, that's really easy to do. You just go to colorfront.cloud and I'll show you real quick. Go to colorfront.cloud. There's a try streamer, and just fill out your name, email, and what platform and software you're using. Select start trial, and an automated email will be sent to you with a install build with instructions, links to the help center, tutorial videos, everything you can need to get started. And we have support here in Los Angeles and Budapest. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Via Discord, we have a support center on our website with all sorts of quick setup guides, tutorials, tutorial videos, user guides, everything you can need, links to our Discord. It's all here, easy to use. Yeah, and if you're liking it, if you think it's something that can suit your needs, subscribing is very easy. You can do it through the Stream Manager or through the website. You could choose between two different plans available. We have a starter plan, which is similar to the trial. It gives you about an hour of stream time per session, limits to HD, limited to 5 megabits per second. But if you wanted to take a step up to the Pro, you get up to 12 hours of streaming time per session, 20 viewers, 30 megabit per second. You also get access to the web browser and 16 channels of audio. So yeah, all that stuff is here, easy to do. By Pro, it takes you to a Stripe page. All real simple, and our support team's here to help if you have any questions. So yeah, thanks for your time. I really appreciate you guys being a part of this webinar. I'm going to open the floor now to any Q&A. So if you have any questions, feel free to let us know. All right, so it looks like we have a couple questions here. They're coming in. Sean McDonald's asking about future updates, having a talkback within the web browser. I know that's something that we've been working on with the streaming player app itself for the web browser. That hasn't been incorporated yet. When selecting, there's another question about, let's see what here, the differences between the software solution, the streamer, and the streaming server. Basically, the streamer is a single channel. The main differences is having one single channel versus the server is 4 independent channels. They both go up to 4K, 60 frames per second. The streaming server is a dedicated 1RU device, and it's separate from your NLE that you're working on versus the streamer is it's the application that lives on your machine that's running Premiere or Resolve.
Yeah, so the big difference between the two is one is a four-channel independent box that's meant to be inside like a machine room that can take four independent signals, like Michael had just said, from various SDI or NDI sources. So you could feed it from a Resolve, a Flame, a Final Cut, and an Adobe, and it's a single appliance meant for kind of like larger distribution or larger teams or facilities where the Colorfront Streamer is meant for I'm an independent user or I have editorial machines or dailies machines where they're not necessarily inside a facility. So it allows the end user to do a little bit more with the four channel box.
Yeah. I got another question here from Robert DuBois. He's asking, do you have a plan for making the client experience a little easier? The dual factor is difficult for some non-technical clients. Yes, we're actually working on this right now at the moment. We just incorporating a new easy join feature that doesn't require any authentication for the viewer. So basically, you send an email invite. There's an easy join code, it's 6 digits long. You just click a button on the streaming player, enter that code, and you're off. There's no need to enter your email address into the player and authenticate. So there's a lot less steps involved.
Yeah, one of the big things with that, just so everybody understands, is the security requirements from the studios. We built our system based on security. That was the whole thing from the very first day out was security, obviously with unreleased content or even released content is a very, very, very important thing from the studio side of things. So as much as sometimes it's difficult for a producer to, authenticate something, there's a fine line between you need to authenticate to make sure it's a secure, locked in stream if there's any types of leaks or anything like that. This new feature kind of turns that off, right? So, there's always going to be an ease of use versus security thing. And as things get farther into the future, it's going to be an educational thing for producers, for creatives that the idea of just no authentication, just joining is going to have to go away from the studio side. So we are enabling this feature, but the idea is we built it from the ground up with security in mind. It is a TPN certified end-to-end solution. So it's got all the security requirements if those are needed. But yes, like Michael said, this new feature set will allow you to kind of disable some of those, and it's per route. So for bigger teams that say have like 10 streamers and like 2 streaming servers, if you need one streamer to be secure and another one to not be secure, you can actually turn it on and off per route or per thing that you're streaming from. So you can adhere to the security requirements when needed, and then also when not. Yeah. So there's that one on the security side, and then a real quick Android. There's no support for Android at this time. One of the big things with Android is every single display and every single phone is different. And with the reference quality streaming that we're doing, the importance for us is making sure that everyone is seeing the exact same image at the exact same time with the exact same quality, whether it's an SDR or HDR, and they're seeing everything that's the same with something. Same with the web stream, right? The web stream is SDR only. It's only meant to get you a stream. You're not going to be in HDR because we can't control what a web browser does. Where with iPhone, iPad, Mac OS, we can actually talk to the displays that allow us to know what the display is doing and make sure that the image presented to whoever's watching it is exactly what is intended on that side of things. Just so that's the Android question. And then I also saw an earlier question on PCM audio versus AAC. AAC will actually induce a little bit more latency because because it is compressed, it needs to be uncompressed. So if you need the lowest latency possible, if you go PCM, it's all the same channels, all the same everything. It uses a little bit more bandwidth, but since it's uncompressed, it doesn't need to be decoded. So AAC will induce a little bit more latency on that side of things.
There's also, I see a question here about going more in depth on Dolby Vision support and how has the experience been delivering to different displays. And to help answer this, I actually have our color scientist, Bill Feitner, listening in. And if you wanted to maybe share.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the engine itself is the same engine that's in all of our products, and it's utilized here to in terms of the player to match what's being streamed down to the particular display you have, and so it automatically takes care of that, takes all the headache out of it, and guarantees that you get a matching picture. For example, on a Mac computer, we get feedback from the Mac platform, be it on an iPad or iPhone or on a laptop, and we know what the display is doing, what the limits of the display are, and then we map accordingly to make sure you have a reference quality picture on these devices. So that's what's the main goal of that is, and then that also goes along with Dolby, that Dolby is supported. There's some more in-depth things that we can do with Dolby in terms of pre-visualizing different renders from Dolby. That's perhaps something that we should break away and do a demonstration. It's kind of difficult just verbally to go into the depth of that. But if you're interested, ping us and we can certainly arrange a demo of that. But it does allow you to demo different Dolby rendering levels and things, so you can previs if you want to use it that way. Otherwise, it works just as well as any of the other sources. That doesn't matter what's coming down the stream. The Colorfront engine takes care of making sure that it matches the display. And if it's a non-Apple display or a projector or something, then you just need to put the attributes, the calibration, whatever the settings are on the projector to target into the player, and you got a matching picture there.
Nice. Thank you, Bill. Let's see here.
There was another question. It says, if you send a 5.1 signal, can you configure the streaming player to output 5.1 signal keeping? Yes. So it is. So if you send it 5.1, it'll output 5.1, or you can even do a mix down to say a 2-channel mix down from that 5.1. So if you're going to like a home television that doesn't have a 5.1 system, it'll automatically mix it down to the 2 channels, right? Because most TVs only have 2 channels in them. So yeah, so there's a audio configuration on the streaming player on the receiving side. On that side of things. Then there was another one for with our transcoder, we have this, or a flavor of it, is it locked to the transcoder? Can we piggyback the license to use with apps like Resolve? No. So the software solution we use, which is HEVC inside SRT, is built into all of our products. So transcoder, OSD, Express Dailies, QC Player, it's built in. Those are completely separate, so you can't use a transcoder license to use the streamer. The streamer is a completely separate licensed solution that we offer. It's not part of it, but all of our solutions have the same reference quality streaming built into it. It was actually built into all of those, and then Streamer is a new product that is a subset of that technology. Then there was can you use 2 transcoder machines for transmit and receive, or do you need the player? Transcoder does not receive. Transcoder is a mastering software, so it's meant to make files. The streaming player is required to receive any of the streams, no matter where it's coming from, whether it's the streaming server, streamer, or another transcoder or another piece of our software stack. So you can use the same machine. You don't need a new machine. You can definitely use the machine to do that. But transcoder is not meant to receive the stream and decode it. I already covered the minimum internet specs in the chat. I replied to that really quick. But so that's covered. And then Bill and Michael just did the Dolby Vision one. Sorry, just copy pasting, making sure we get all the questions answered. And it says, what was the next one? It says,
there was a question about, the difference between other software, like free, other free software. And I just wanted to highlight a few things, just to, what makes the streamer kind of stand apart. A lot of times with the free streaming solutions, it's tied to just one NLE ecosystem, whereas Streamer you can use with everything from DaVinci, Baselight, Flame, Avid. You also have security TPN certified, 256-bit AES encrypted. You could do up to 20 viewers per stream, 4K UHD streaming and 10-bit 444 on PC, and with full HDR support that includes Dolby Vision. Also, the handling of the color spaces between the streamer and the streaming player is what I believe kind of makes us stand apart from some of our competitors.
Yeah, then there was a couple questions. So one was on color accuracy and security, but can you pipe the output to Zoom or Teams? No, we don't pipe into Zoom or Teams. Actually, one of the things that we do, again, back on the security side of things, is that's required from the studios is on an iPhone, iPad, Mac OS, Apple TV, and Windows. If you are trying to run a Teams or Zoom session on the same computer, the image will go black. It's a security requirement. So it actually turns the image off for security, so you can't take screen captures or screen videos of it. We do have chat built in to the solution with the streaming player. So you can do that, but you would have to run Teams and stuff on a separate machine. So we don't pipe into other solutions. And then there was a question about the costs. There is no plans to make a web-only version. So if that's what you need for the Pro, unfortunately, there's no web-only version and there's no plans to do the web-only version. 420 on Apple TV is because the Apple TV can't decode the 444 quite yet. We've been working with Apple and the team there to do 444 fully decoding. There's an issue with the AV Foundation library is my latest understanding on that. So that's why it's only 420 currently. Doesn't mean it won't change. Then we have, thanks for the presentation. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we will upload this presentation later for people to, if you didn't miss, if you missed the beginning. Would you mind giving a broad comparison between yours? Oh, Michael just did that one. A bit of a loaded question. The trick with Resolve's remote display is it only works with Resolve remote display. So if you're only doing Resolve, then it's only going to work with Resolve in this with their remote display solution. Where ours is you can have SDI or NDI out from anything and then go through our streamer and our stream management system that Michael covered in the webinar and distribute it kind of anywhere. It's not limited to just a Resolve option. Streaming in Dolby Atmos. We do not support streaming Dolby Atmos yet. It is something that has been talked about. It's a lot more complicated than most people understand to do under the hood. But it's been requested and is on the roadmap to be able to stream Dolby Atmos and then have the receiving device do the Dolby Atmos decoding. But that's not possible yet. Then there was you have a transcoder with support. No, there is no discount for streamer. There are separate products and separate teams and separate engineering required for all of those. So that's that. Let's see. Then it was like, is there a way to test how Resolve works in the cloud? I don't know. Are you asking Gabo if you can clarify? Or Colorfront, if you want to stream from the cloud from Resolve, you would do, and you wanted to use the streamer or the streaming server in the cloud, that is an option. You would go NDI out of Resolve because they don't support CDI. If they were to support CDI, then we could capture the CDI. So the streaming server in the cloud version. So on-prem, it's NDI or SDI. In the cloud, just change the SDI to CDI. And so in the cloud, it would be CDI or NDI that we could capture with the streamer or the streaming server and stream through our system on-prem. But we can't capture the stream from a Resolve in the cloud. Just so there's that. What about there's a cloud-based application? Yeah, so Robert, yeah, this is all supported in the cloud. Streamer it's Windows, right? So it runs on Windows. The streaming server runs in the cloud, and Streamer will run on any Windows workstation on-prem or in the cloud. Again, back to CDI or NDI. Most of the time with NDI, the issue is it's a 16-bit wrapper, but it's actually an 8-bit encode. Most people only do the 8-bit encode. So you just need to make sure that if they are using NDI, that they are actually doing at least a 10-bit encode. So you're not putting 8-bit inside of 16-bit before it gets to us. So that's one of the big things. Just to
I
be
have
clear, oh, go
there's
ahead.
a guy. Oh yeah, I was going to address that too. For those who own transcoders, we do have streaming capabilities within the transcoder itself. For those who do have transcoders, you could reach out to us and we can get the streaming set up within that system. It's kind of built in, so you wouldn't need the streamer alongside transcoder.
Yeah. Dominic, CDI is cloud AWS's cloud digital interface. It's their version of SDI. It's an uncompressed basically SDI in the cloud. If you want some more information on that, just do a quick Google of AWS CDI and all the details are there. Because it can be a rabbit hole if we get into it now. But yeah, basically it's SDI in the cloud is what that is. So then there's a question on RGB range is legal too. So yeah, we get a lot of requests to have legal range RGB. Technically, that's not a thing, and you really shouldn't do it. RGB is always considered full range, and YCBCR is always considered legal. You should never technically do legal range RGB. That's People do it. There's software out there that allows you to do that. But we are going to add a feature set to allow the end user to say, this is RGB, and even though it's not the way to do it, treat it as legal. So in your workflows, if you're doing RGB, I'm honestly not sure why you're doing legal range RGB, but that's up to you. But we are going to add the option. I don't know the ETA on that. Michael might know better, but we are going to add the option to treat it as legal range as opposed to full. Just so Pedro, so you know. That's that. And then there was one other question. Is it possible to minimize delay like BMD remote monitor? I'm not quite sure I follow the question, but we do have in an upcoming build currently the latency. If you're hardlined and et cetera, the latency is between 7 to 13 frames, but we do have an upcoming release of the streaming player with hyper low latency. It will require a hardline, right? So you want hardline internet to do this onto any system. And we have the delay down to 1, 2, 3 frames in the pristine network environment. So I've done testing from our instances in the cloud and from Oregon or to our office in LA, I can get about 1 to 2 frames of latency from Oregon to my SDI monitor. So we've definitely worked over the years to make that get down as far as possible. But at the same time, deliver the same quality, because one of the things that we have always focused on is, especially with remote viewing, is that you see absolutely every single frame. If you stream and it's at 24, you might not notice that, you're not getting every frame. You might miss every, 30th frame or whatever, but you don't notice. Our goal has always been to make sure that every single frame for reference quality and accuracy, the QC departments and the QA departments and the mastering departments all need to know that every frame that they see is exactly, they're not skipping anything, whether it's frame by frame or in real time. So we've got the delay down basically to 1 to 3 frames in a deal. But that's pre-release. But I feel like it's getting pretty close to be fully released for everybody. So as soon as you see 2025 update 1 posted on the support website, definitely download and get it installed, and you can start to test that. And I think that's all the questions we've seen. Michael, did we miss anything?
This is Bill. I see that Chris has asked, can you talk more about HDR? We support any dynamic range what comes down, and if the display on the player is equal to whatever you're sending down, there's no translation needed. But if you're sending down say 1,000 nit stream and the display at your end can do less, well then that's where the Colorfront engine comes in. But yeah, I mean HDR is fully supported. All the different flavors, whether you're sending down an HDR cinema, the new cinema standard of 300 nits, or you're sending down 1,000 nits or above. Some people have 4,000 nit source material. We manage all of that. If the display is capable of what's being sent down, that's what's shown. Otherwise, it will be fit into whatever the capabilities of that display are and preserve the original intent of the image so that nothing's lost. It's not just doing curves. That's part of the Colorfront engine that does that, and that really sets our whole platform apart from any competition out there. No one else does that, and the goal is to have reference quality images um, at the end, and as close as they can be, uh, dependent upon the particular display device you have. So I don't know if that answers your question about HDR, but if you have more specific questions, please ask. Yeah.
There's a new question for stereo transmit the signal side by side. Full. So the streamer does not support stereo, but the streaming server does. The streaming server you can do, and it is side by side. I need to talk to my client with phone or Skype, and I need to, yeah, like you can totally do that 100%. You can talk to your customer however you need to talk to your customer. But if you want to do it inside the app, we do have chat. We don't have chat. We have talking like we are on here, minus you guys can talk back as opposed to chat. But yeah, that is something that is part of the streaming player application, is that you can talk back and forth. And I think that gets all the, oh, another one. I want to talk to my client with your tool. Yes, it should be possible. Michael, correct me if I'm wrong, but we have chat available in Streaming Player now, right?
Not we're still we're it's not quite ready.
Okay. Yeah, so it will be available in the future.
Yeah.
Apple Vision Pro. That's a complicated question, to be honest. But yes, we do have a native app for a streaming player in the Vision Pro. It's actually in the App Store, if I recall correctly. I actually have to test it. It's on my list to test today. It is going to be SDR only currently, but we do have the ability to stream to the Apple headset. And then one of the other things is it keeps coming up, immersive streaming. For those getting into that, immersive streaming will be a thing in the future. We are waiting for some stuff on the Apple side in order to stream fully immersive if you're getting into that. But that's not quite there yet, and that would be directly from our transcoder or Onset Daily software. We already support the Blackmagic immersive camera, and have actually, if you've watched anything in headset in immersive on the Apple TV, it's like the highlining or Metallica or any of that, the Bono stuff, every single frame of that for dailies was processed in Onset Dailies. And so we're really proud of that. We've been working with that team for about 5 years now. So streaming to the headset is possible in 2D SDR at this point, but it might be in beta only, because we're still working out some of the kinks with that. What about pointing and marking on screen? Michael, you want to take that one?
Yeah, we have a pointer feature that that's available. It's basically on the players. You can each viewer can have a different color, a little circle that you can like kind of point and interact with. That is ready. We could uh, enable that on request. Yeah, that is available. I think that's caught up with all the questions.
I think, yep, I'm doing a triple check because there's the chat and the Q&A ones, just making sure we're all good. I think we got all of them.
Mhm. And we're recording this session, so anybody that came a little bit later and missed some of the beginning, we'll share the recording in the next couple days. All right. All right. Well, thank you everybody for being here. Really appreciate your time. If you guys have any additional questions, feel free to reach out to us. And um, yeah, thanks again. Thanks for Bill, Brandon for being here. And we hope to hear from you all soon. All right. Take care, everybody.